What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Off the Rails, a recovery podcast dedicated to ending the stigma of addiction through open discussion on all things recovery related. My name is Mark, and with me always are Dave and Jared. What's happening?
Hello.
Fellas?
What's going on?
How was everyone's week?
My week was good. The week before was pretty shitty. I had COVID. So that was kind of crappy. But yeah, I'm feeling good now. Hit some meetings this week. Just had a family Easter weekend, so that was good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that COVID all through the house now or what?
It was. It's all good. It's all done now.
It's all good now.
I've been really tired though since, unmotivated, but starting to get her back now.
What'd you do for family Easter weekend?
Saturday we went up to Pingle's farm up near Toronto. Pretty cool. Had brunch. There's like a bunch of farm activities. What else do we do? Oh yeah, some Easter egg hunts. Just spent quality family time. It was nice.
Sweet.
Yeah. But yeah, week's been good. Had a couple crazy boozing dreams. And just woke up on the wrong side of the bed a couple times this week in a horrendous mood. But yeah, it was a good week.
Nice. How about you, Mark?
Oh man. I don't know, man. It's been a while, so there's a lot, I guess, to catch up on.
Yeah.
Man, overall pretty good, settling into a nice routine here. Exercising a lot, which is sweet, although I'm a bit tired.
It's getting shredded.
You know how it is. Fuck, man, attending a lot of meetings, 2 a week in person, and I do one every morning, so that's sweet. Start volunteering on Tuesday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Where?
I'm volunteering at a soup kitchen. It's called Lethbridge Soup Kitchen.
Nice,
man.
Handing out meals and whatnot. So looking forward to that.
What does that look like? You just show up and they're gonna let you know what to do, or they kind of tell you what it's gonna look like?
Bro, I'm gonna be honest, I'm really anxious about it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. And I got this fear that I'm just gonna be shit at it. But how am I gonna be shit at volunteering at a soup kitchen?
How did you get that? How'd you get that idea? Just to do service work and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, I'm going back to school. I'm doing addiction studies and stuff, and I don't know. I kind of want to give back and help a bit. So I was looking for ways to volunteer, and I think that might be good. It'd be cool, and
that'd be a good spot for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking forward to doing that. Looking forward to going back to school a bit, and yeah, man, I'm pretty motivated here lately.
When does the school start? Do you know yet? Is it gonna be this summer, or is it gonna be
you can just basically do the program at whatever pace you want. It's only 6 courses. So first one's just a general addiction studies course. So I'm starting that May 9th. Same day
nice.
My babies do, so that's good.
Perfect.
I'm only doing 1 course, and then,
that's coming up soon too. You're gonna be a dad very soon.
Yeah, you're friggin' right, buddy.
Sorry, babe, can't go to the hospital. I got school.
Yeah. That'll fly. What else? Yeah, the baby. That's pretty crazy. Went to an ultrasound. That was awesome. Really sweet. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. Life's about to get a lot different in the next couple of weeks. So
how's the wifey been with the pregnancy as of late? Everything been pretty good?
Yeah, man, she's fucking awesome. She's super uncomfortable, which makes sense. She's late in her pregnancy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she's just ready to have the baby.
I don't know why I don't have any tips or anything I can give her, but I just thought I'd ask.
yeah, I'm really just going with the flow, man. I'm nervous as hell, but excited at the same time. So, all right, enough about me. Dave, how have you been?
Good, man. Yeah, I mean, it's been a couple of weeks since we've kind of talked. I mean, we talk all the time, the three of us, but I mean, really get into stuff and kind of on the podcast. But yeah, so like this week's been good. You know, Easter weekend, my sisters came out. So one sister's got 3 boys, 7-year-old and twin 3-year-olds. So she didn't have them on Friday, so she came out by herself. And it was my other sister and her brother-in-law. So sometimes it's kind of cool to have some like, you know, adult time with my parents and them and just kind of hang out. So we were all out on Friday, and then my sister came back out with the kids today. So it's been a little bit of chaos around, but now there's nicer weather. We're not all cooped up in the cottage either, so we can kind of be outside and like doing some stuff. So it's not as crazy as it is in the middle of the winter. Yeah, I was telling Mark before we got on here, I got angry at someone for the first time today that I have in a long time, like probably since I've been sober. And I felt bad about it, but I wouldn't say I almost got a fight, but yeah, basically what I was, my dog, he's walking down the beach and my dog went out of the house and kind of was barking at him. And this guy's a real jerk. And I called my dog back and he kind of like yelled and was like, if he touches me, I'm going to drop kick him.
Oh.
And so I was just like, and he kept walking. And he was like, what's that? He's like, if he touches me, I'm going to drop kick him. And then for some reason I said, you're a fucking loser. No one likes you. I felt bad about it after.
Man, that's fucking gold. That was just funny the second time.
I didn't hear that, I guess.
No, I felt bad about it for like a couple hours. I'm like, well, I did and I didn't. And I'm just like, man, what's wrong with me? I don't know. Like, is that bad of me right now? I shouldn't be in that kind of headspace. But the guy's done some other things. He's just like, he wrecked the whole beach. He still walked down in front of his place, like all the way down. And he put rocks, like these huge, massive rocks into the water, basically like got rid of the beach, like backfilled it. It's all basically his property now. So not a lot of people like him on the beach. I hope he's listening. But anyway, besides that,
yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Besides that, yeah, we've been pretty busy with some interviews the last couple of weeks, which has been nice because that's kind of like my biggest form of my recovery tool, to be honest with you. It's like going to a speaker meeting for me, like just listening and chiming in every once in a while, but just listening to people's stories and listening to you guys. And then when I cut them up, do some of the editing or whatever, like let's do it again. So like I was starting to feel bad about not going to a lot of meetings. Then I'm like, you know what, from all the interviews we do and all the shooting the shits, and then like all like listening to them again, man, like that's like 50 meetings right there, if you put it that way. So,
and you do a lot of work on it too. Like you're always editing. So always listening to it.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I kind of came to terms with, I'm still going to go to meetings. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to cut those out or whatever, but I feel a little bit better about it now. Like I was kind of feeling, and even the interview we did last night, I don't know. I just like, I'm totally cool with, you know, Jared, you know, loves going to the meetings and like, that's part of his process. And, you know, Mark likes them or, you know, whatever, like, that's great. I know we've talked about that before, but I was kind of like feeling kind of shitty about not liking them so much. I don't know. Like, I'm still going to go. I get something out of going to them. It's just, they're not like, I'm not super jazzed about them after and stuff. That's all. So, yeah, I think that's been about it. Heading to Sudbury for the All Ontarios this weekend, the team.
Sweet. Another 6-0 weekend.
Hopefully. So be cool. It's good opportunity for the kids. I'm pumped for them. They worked hard this year. And then season will be over. So I'll have more time. I don't know. On my hands. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Also for the meeting, like I like certain aspects of meetings. I'm like torn on meetings, honestly, because there's things I don't like and there's things that I love, and I try to take away the things that I like, basically.
Yeah.
Got a good mix here.
No, for sure. And I think if I found like the people that are there, like, don't get me wrong either, like they're great people. Like all the people that, I've met there, are really nice and everything too. So it's not like I don't like the people that are there. Like I know sometimes you go to meetings and there's some people that aren't really there for the right reasons. They just need to get their paper signed and all that. Like I haven't, at the meetings I've been to, I haven't had any of those. So like they're all in it for the right reasons and they're all good people and everything. It's just, it's just is what it is, right? Like, and there are some moments of it, like Mark said, I should probably focus more on that. You're right. Like just kind of go there and take, even if it's 5-10 minutes of the meeting that I enjoyed, then just kind of take that with me. Right. So, not be so negative towards it, I guess, too. Right.
I go to a meeting and it's called a design for living. I don't know if you guys have those ones.
No.
I think I might have just got lucky and like found like the meetings that I really enjoy or got, because sometimes people find it hard to find meetings that they can jive with people at, right? So I think I have a feeling I got a little lucky. But the big book meeting that I go to, it's designed for living, and it just like it like reteaches you how to live and what to do.
Okay.
So I don't
That's
know,
cool.
it's pretty cool. It's like a big book study type meeting.
Yeah, I don't really like that. See, I just like the sharing aspect and hearing people talk. Right.
Yeah, like you do you still hear that stuff too, which is good as well. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. That's why I love recovery, because everyone can recover in whatever way they like, as long as you're in recovery and it's working, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
You don't have to follow like one way to, there's like what, a million ways to skin a cat. Like, I don't know.
More than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I always, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. See, that's one of the things I don't like about NA is like, I find they kind of make it, you feel like you have to do it that way. And that could just be how I feel going in there. But I feel like, if you don't follow the program, like step for step, you're going to fail. And that's, there's so many cases where that's not the case. And there's a ton of cases where, it works for people. So I think every recovery is a little different and is individualized, and different tools work for different people.
That's why I find it so interesting having so many different people on, because every single person's recovery is different, and you can take little bits and pieces to help your own recovery as well.
Yeah.
So if you watch this podcast, just take little bits and pieces and put it into your recovery, and you'll do just great.
Shit. So it's been a while. Let's talk Tiffany Jenkins episode.
That was a banger.
That was a banger.
Yeah. Tiffany's, she's cool. She's awesome. Yeah, I like her.
She's sweet, man. Hilarious. Great attitude.
Yeah, she's super funny.
Yeah.
I just found it interesting too, like even someone like that, like she's had some success. She's pretty big on Instagram and Facebook, and she's doing a comedy tour, and she's written a book, and she still talks about like being nervous though, even before she went on the podcast with us three yo-yos, like she still was like had nerves, and when she was talking and asking us started asking us questions. She's like, oh, it's just my nervous energy. That's what I do. And it's just like, I don't know. It's kind of nice to see like the realness and not really hide that either. So I found that cool about her too. Just very endearing and genuine. Right. So.
Yeah, I found that as well. Like there was a camera crew at her house that day that she filmed with us or recorded with us, and she just like came on and was just herself. And
I think they were still packing up and leaving while she was doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's pretty genuine. And she was like, I don't know, we had a little miscommunication with her where we thought she was coming on the month before. Then she messaged us that day, or no, the next month, but she was so apologetic when like, yeah, I thought it was super cool that she came on here. Like, she doesn't need to do that or anything, but she's that kind of person. She's awesome. She likes to help people, and recovery interests her as well. So
I was a little surprised when she said too, like I think she said part of the reason why is when Mark emailed her to come on, she kind of said like she didn't get a lot. She doesn't get a lot of messages from males, which like I know she's a woman and writing the book, but like her story was so relatable to whoever, right? Like I found that kind of a bit shocking that she wouldn't have gotten more men reach out to her. Or maybe not a lot of men have read the book. I don't know, but if you haven't, male or female, you should get out there and buy it.
Yeah, it's a
get it
banger.
cheaper.
Yeah,
Unbelievable. Can't even put it down once you pick it up.
and if you download on Audible, it's her doing the narrating.
She narrates it.
Oh,
It is.
Man,
dope.
like when she was doing a recording, she does her you know how Christopher, our friend, has his addict voice. It's like the British accent.
yeah.
Man, Tiffany's addict accent is awesome too. She pulls it out in that episode, and I lolled at it, right? It's so funny. Yeah, she's gold. Yeah, made me laugh a lot.
What's your addict voice?
Man, for so long it was just my voice, which is horrible because it made it tough to distinguish between like do the drugs, Mark, don't do the drugs. Like, but I don't really have a voice for it. I just mostly any negative self-talk or like shit like that. I just know that's my addict voice trying to get me to use drugs.
Yeah, that's like me too. I still talk negatively about myself to this day, and like have negative thoughts just like flowing through my brain, like not about drinking or anything, just about life. Like I feel like I just wish I would wake up and just everything be positive, but that's not the case. So it's like a long process, but it'll get there. I think. But yeah, like even like the littlest, stupidest thing, like how was your day? You can turn that negative, being like, oh, why'd you say it to me in that tone?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. It sucks, but it'll get there.
Yeah, I do a tool that I use like when I have like those negative thoughts and shit. You kind of have to like take it and talk like this is gonna sound batshit crazy, but hear me out. It's gonna sound so fucking far out in left field.
I know
When you
you're
have
going.
those like when you have those like negative self-talk, like beating yourself up, like look at you, blah blah blah, like whatever. You just got to talk back to it, be like, get the fuck out of here, right? In your head, like have a conversation with yourself in the head and be like, that's my fucking addiction talking to me, trying to get me to be a piece of shit. Get the fuck out. And that sounds crazy, but that's a tool I use. I don't know. If you want to take it and run with it, go ahead.
I feel like you've told me that before.
Yeah.
You've got some good damn tools that you taught me when I was first there.
Thanks, buddy.
It's a wealth of information.
Yeah.
I'm
Mark
not
reads a lot.
trying to get better every day,
Yeah.
We're out here getting better every day. And that's how you do it, man. Work on the tools, build up the toolbox.
I read on that thing that you said, Mark. I read this book one time. Well, actually, it was on Audible, so I listened to it. Can't remember what it's called. I'll get it for you after. But it talks about that, like, that voice in your head that you listen to, and sometimes like it's so negative, but you allow it in there, and if you had a friend or a family member that talked to you the way you talk to yourself, you wouldn't even talk to that person, right? You would like cut them out of your life. Like, you're an asshole. Like, how can you talk to me like that? But you allow yourself to live in there and do that to yourself.
Yeah.
And the way it was said in this book, I was just like, man, that's fucking so true. Like, I can't believe I never really processed that before. Like, I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And that negativity self-talk too can, like, I don't know, it can put me into like a depression where I don't ever want to, like, don't even want to get up in the morning. Like, I kind of felt like that like last week or even recently. You just do not want to get up in the morning and you just beat yourself up, and it's just like mentally exhausting and exhausts you physically, I feel.
Yeah, and it's
So
like it's a vicious cycle, right? Because like
yeah,
you start doing nothing, then you're like, you're not doing nothing, you're a piece of shit. Like,
yeah,
and to me, like that circles back around to, I used to like combat how I felt. Like if I felt like I was a piece of shit, I would use, and then it'd be like a never ending cycle. It'd be like beating myself up and being like, oh, I don't want to feel like this anymore. Like,
mhm.
so that's why I love affirmations, because for years and just telling myself like all this negative self-talk and believe in it and whatever. But yeah, now I
You're,
just I battle that guy in my head.
yeah, I try really hard, but some days I can beat it like through not drinking and stuff, but I can't mentally beat it sometimes.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can. But I think it's just you got to practice, and just I think it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to get there.
Well, fuck yeah, man. How long were you like drinking and like talking shitty to yourself?
I don't know, 12 years.
Yeah.
And then talking shitty to myself sober before I was even an addict.
Yeah. So you can't expect that to go away in 6 months, right?
No.
So it's gonna take some time, but it'll get better.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you've noticed. I was thinking about this the other day. I'm sure you've noticed, like, even in the last 2 months or 3 months, like from when we started, where your mindset was, or kind of how you were thinking about things, or whatever it was at the start of when we first did this. At least I felt like, I was 3 months sober or whatever it was. I'm like, oh man, like, yeah, I got it kind of, got it going on or whatever. And now I look back 3 months later, like 6 months in, and be like, man, I knew nothing. Like I wasn't even close to where I am now. So just imagine in like a year's time, right? You're gonna like be all over it.
I thought like
dialing it in.
when I hit 3 months, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm never gonna like I was in like a friggin' like pink cloud, or where like I was just feeling so good. But and then it just like goes down, and then it goes up and down.
Yeah, it is a fucking roller coaster, man.
Yeah. It's wild.
I was thinking about that the other day, about how like when you're finishing up, say like your program, like in rehab, you're just on top of the fucking world. You're just like, I got this. But like 30 days is not a lot. Like,
No.
It felt like a long time.
It is, but like in the bigger, I don't know. I don't want to discourage anyone here. When you look back,
Well,
30 days is not a whole lot. It's not that long.
No. The real work starts when you get out.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Well, that's what Bree said to me today. She actually said it to me today. She's like, you're going out for another smoke. She's like, you're like a truck parked in neutral going backwards. Like you're staying sober, but you're not doing any of these things that you're supposed to be doing. So I got to do a bit better. But yeah, I think I'm just in a little.
Well, buddy, we're almost at 1,000 subscribers, so you're gonna have to give that up.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh yeah, fuck.
So remember to subscribe.
Yeah, but you gotta do it for yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
But once it's 1,000, you have no choice. So
do it for myself
and the subscribers. Shit. So
yeah, that's climbing pretty good. Anyways,
next
interview. Sam, or do you want to skip to Ryan's? Sam's?
What? Ooh, Ryan's?
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about Ryan's, and then we'll talk about
Ryan's, go Sam's, because Sam's was like kind of different, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Ryan's another, man, I don't know what it is with people in recovery, but Ryan is one of those dudes with energy as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, big time. Yeah. And he actually texted me after and said that he's like, oh, I hope that was okay, whatever. I'm like running on no sleep. He had some stuff going on. And I'm like, you can never tell. The guy was like just a machine nonstop, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, wild story. Does a lot of good now for mental health, biking, raising funds for mental health, and
TED Talks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested to see that TV show too. That's going to be coming. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. We had like and we kind of talked about this before, where like we look back at like, because there were good times using, right? When you're in active addiction, there were.
Oh, fuck yeah.
How do you guys not get carried away in telling and talking about those stories?
I know, like when we're rehab together, I was, you're not supposed to talk about that stuff, right? What do they call it? The word for it. No, they're saying it's not glorifying.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Anyways, there was a word they said, like, reason why you're not supposed. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But so I'd catch myself sometimes wanting to say something, like tell a story or whatever. And it's like, oh no, can't do that. But
We're in rehab.
Yeah, but really, like, you're not supposed to tell stories when you're using days, because it's like, they said a word for it.
I think those stories, though, I like telling them.
Man, in rehab and like early in recovery, I love like sharing stories like that and like talking about it, because like you're around people, you want to know that you have something in common with these people, right?
It's
and
like
what I liked about it.
And the craziest thing is too, when you start telling stories, then like almost 100% of the time, the person sitting beside you has the exact same story to tell, like almost to the T. So it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Like it kind of they bring you together, which is fucking crazy. But and I understand the logic between not wanting to tell the stories and stuff, because you can't get fixated on the good times of using, because you're in rehab. The bad times obviously started outweighing the good times a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the stories like we were telling in rehab were like more of the shitty times, like the shitty stories. And that's what I kind of saw, like when people were telling shitty stories, then all your shitty stories were pretty well the same. Well, not the same, but pretty damn close. Know what I mean?
No, I didn't mean in like group sessions. I meant like more like when we're just like sitting on the couches and shit like that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like me and Christopher. Pretty sure we've all had the similar stories happen.
You guys were probably sharing those stories at 1 o'clock when you guys were eating Milanos, though. Like I was lying in bed.
We were, yeah. Probably.
To me, I could ask Ryan about like the cool stories all day, but I also wish I had asked more about like the foul stories, the bad times and stuff like that. So I wish I had kind of dove into that with him, because I think those are the ones that you really need to hear.
I'm sure he'll come on again.
Yeah. And I think he's like, because he talked a little bit about like the good times or whatever, and then he kind of went on to talk about a little bit about like but I don't think he got close to some of the crazy shit that probably happened to him while he was in that world.
And that's kind of what I was trying to get at. Like the things people want to hear and what they need to hear are different to me.
Yeah.
So
so true.
Some wise advice.
I'm a wise guy.
You know it. All right. Sam's interview, shooting the professional shit.
Loved it.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite episodes to date.
Even my dad, he's like, that was an amazing episode. He just said that at dinner time.
Yeah.
He said he really enjoyed it. And that made me pretty happy.
Yeah. I've had several people reach out to me over that episode, and that's super cool. Love hearing from people. And Sam's awesome.
Yeah,
she is great.
That's her bread and butter for sure, is like the family stuff. And it's obviously real important for us to kind of to have her on one. She's awesome, but she's a fountain of information, right? That she could talk about that all day probably. So maybe we can have her on again, talk about, maybe we get some input from some listeners or some family members or friends or whoever, maybe our next professional shooting the professional shit too, right? Whether it's Sam or maybe Lindsay again or somebody else. I mean, we're a fountain of knowledge, but we're not professionals.
Absolutely not.
I mean, Jared claimed to be a doctor at one point, but I think that was fabricated.
I'm like a broken fondue fountain. Not much knowledge.
I love that.
Okay.
Just experience, that's all. Sam, Dave and I missed our meeting with her, our call with her. Then next week we got one. Yeah.
You get her to come on the podcast.
Come on the podcast and ghost her.
Brutal.
Yeah, the next week, man. We got one this Saturday. I'm in summer. I gotta look what time my game is. I think I can make it to the meeting.
So these calls, like at first, like for the first little bit, you have like weekly calls, and then it goes to bi-weekly, and I have been struggling with the bi-weekly because I think I've made like one of them up because I keep forgetting.
Yeah, we are aware time management is not your strong suit.
What do you
busy
mean?
Guy.
What do you mean?
He's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a thing too you can put in your and I'm going to say this, but I missed the meeting as well. So
you guys sound like Brie.
You can put
I don't know what to tell you.
I think
it's 3 against 1.
Yeah.
Maybe you should start listening.
Should have started listening years ago. It's like in one ear, out the other, all the time.
In your phone,
it's just like
you can.
I'm not kidding. I got some major like spinning of nothing up there a lot of the time.
Love that.
Do you know what I mean? Like, has that ever happened? You're just like, I don't know. You're just out of it. Happens a lot. But waiting on a phone call from the doctor for that stuff. Anyways,
Thought you were a doctor.
Far from it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyways, all right. So yeah, Sam, what did you guys like about that?
I loved everything about it. I don't know if there's one single thing. I love how she talked about communication. I love like what Newgate does with their family program is sweet because addiction affects your full family, and it's an amazing support for family to have. So love that. Love how she answered her questions. I don't know. Everything about that interview was sweet.
I know. I want to have her on again. She was just awesome to have. And it like brought me almost back to Newgate for a minute. Like just all that information. Mm-hmm. Hers was one of my, like, even while we were there, hers was one of my favorite groups to do. She's just very knowledgeable, and she, like, the family thing is really important to me too. So, yeah.
I think it's good for people to hear that too, because I don't think for myself, like, you obviously know you impacted people in your life and in different ways and different things you did, but like, I don't know that family members necessarily realize how important it is for them to have their own recovery process with it all as well. And I know that's something we learn at Newgate, and the families learn as they kind of tune into those meetings. But for anyone that kind of, if they have someone struggling with addiction or in early recovery, that maybe didn't get that, maybe they did a different route, right? Maybe their loved one just went to some meetings or went to a counselor or whatever. Hopefully if they tuned in, then they got some knowledge of like different ways that they can handle, being supportive for their loved one, right? Where, they may not have had that before. So hopefully it helps some people for sure. That's obviously, I know it did. So.
Yeah, I got a couple messages about that one too.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, Dave.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks, Mark.
Great job, Dave.
Well said. All right,
You
fellas.
guys.
What else we got on the agenda today? Any
That's it,
spiritual
man.
awakenings this week?
I had one.
Let's hear about it.
I was in a horrible mood walking up to the kitchen, and the lights were completely dark.
Boom, boom.
And I wired the pot lights, and one pot light above my head turned on randomly. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was in a great mood. I think it was something. I don't know. Could have been a coincidence. But whatever makes me in a better mood, I'll take. I was fired up.
That's good.
You were fired up.
I've been waiting for one of those little signs or whatever you want to call them, because I have a hard time with spirituality.
Me too.
Maybe
That's cool.
Maybe it was a light malfunction. I don't know, but
Yeah. It was
pretty weird that I was
spirituality,
just
or it says
standing
something
under
about your electrician.
Electricians.
Yeah.
I'm just
I'm pretty sure I was drunk doing those too.
I can explain it. There it is.
Shit.
All right. You guys want to wrap this bad boy up?
Yeah, sounds good. We got what's going up this week, I guess, is
Sweet episode Thursday.
Is that
Thursday?
Nathan's.
Yeah.
Nathan's
10:33 call.
Thursday. 10:33 co.
Yeah.
Sweet episode.
Oh yeah.
Sweet podcast voice.
Oh, dude, his voice is sweet.
I know. I want to get him on for a shoot in the sober shit at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's taken some lessons on speaking, because when I was doing the editing, it was like, a lot, you can see like the voice and whatever and the pauses and stuff, and like when I talk, I mumble and shit when I speak, so like mine's all like awful, and his is just like perfect. Like everything he says is just like perfectly crisp and like spaced. Like his pauses are like identical, and I'm like, man. So I even learned a little bit in that, where I was like, I gotta slow down a little bit when I'm speaking, not be afraid of the silence a little bit too.
Yeah.
So.
Couldn't agree more. Another excellent point. You're on fire today.
Oh, feeling good. I had a sauna, man.
All right, everybody. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, reach out and ask for help. Thank you for listening.
Like and subscribe.